Gentlemen, the time has come once again to discuss things.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Geeky Gentlemen. I am Sid Pardue. Joining me today is Rasco of Rasco's Modern Life. Hello, Rasco.
Howdy, everybody.
Howdy, everybody, indeed. We are continuing on with Horror Month here on Geeky Gentlemen, but before we announce the fan film we're talking about, even though it's in the title, so that you can see it for yourself, I don't know why I ever bother announcing the thing, but anyway, before we announce it, I just want to let you, the listener, know that you can now download episodes of Geeky Gentlemen. The episodes are posted with the episodes on YouTube. You can click the link in the description to go download it from archive.org. Old episodes can be posted by request. Just leave a comment on an old episode of Geeky Gentlemen, and I will upload it right away as quickly as possible for you. If you want to find old episodes of Geeky Gentlemen, you can check out the Geeky Gentlemen playlist here on YouTube. There are over 300 episodes for your listening pleasure. God, it's a lot to say, Rasco.
True.
Anyway, Rasco, what are we talking about this time?
Today we're talking about it's called Harbinger. It's a Lovecraft POV thing. Yeah.
Here's where we kind of get into the murky areas of what exactly constitutes a fan film. Because plenty of fan films tell original stories, but they tend to do it with, pre-existing characters or properties. Like Batman. City of Scars is an original Batman story. Lovecraft, however, just had his own universe that was all really loosely connected, and about the only major thing you get is it's all in New England, and it all kind of connects back to Cthulhu and the old ones.
It's cool. I like that.
Yeah. So, this is a fan film. This is clearly very, very Lovecraftian. I think I can classify it as a fan film. But at the same time, it is so disconnected from any one Lovecraft thing that it is more or less a completely original work, just heavily inspired. So it's certainly on the line for fan film. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would agree. That's why I don't even think I called it a fan film when I read it off the thing, because I was just kind of iffy on whether or not.
Yeah, certainly.
But yeah, I get it.
The official title says Lovecraft short film, so it's like, yeah, well, So have you read any Lovecraft?
Read At the Mountains of Madness.
Okay.
That's it.
Alright, I've read Colors Out of Space, Call of Cthulhu, a couple others here and there.
It's just something that I think is awesome, and I totally want to get into. I really appreciate Lovecraft because it comes from a very alien-esque kind of thing going on there with big grand conspiracies of creatures and stuff like that. It's just cool. Lovecraft's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
In fact, they were going to make an At the Mountains of Madness movie, but because Prometheus was coming out, they didn't because they're too similar.
Oh, interesting. At the Mountains of Madness probably would have been better.
It would have been directed by Guillermo del Toro, so probably...
It would definitely...
That year would have been better.
Yeah, it's interesting, and it's strange, though, to adapt Lovecraft to film, because when you read his stories, so much of it only works as prose.
Mm-hmm.
I really do love that when someone really uses their medium to enhance their story.
I agree. I totally agree.
A lot of Lovecraft stuff, like, he'll have a line that comes up quite a bit where it's kind of a recurring idea in his works, where it's something to the effect of, what I witnessed is too horrible for words to be able to describe. Like, this idea of, there's no way to communicate to you how awful this was.
Yeah.
Except to tell you that there's no way to communicate to you how awful this was.
Yeah.
And so, trying to adapt that to film immediately has, like, a handicap, because how do you visualize something that is too horrible to be able to describe? Because immediately when you say something's too horrible to describe, you imagine something, everyone imagines something different, and automatically what you're imagining is worse than what anyone else can possibly imagine for you. So, it's a really bold move to try to do Lovecraft on film, unless you're doing direct adaptation.
Yeah, you'd like only be able to do like the reaction shot of people looking at this thing that is beyond words.
Yeah, and that's exactly... It's interesting because I think they do a really good job. Lovecraft, one of his biggest problems, and I don't want to make this an H.P. Lovecraft review, but whatever. One of his biggest problems is often, like 90% of his stuff, I'm pretty sure, is all written in first-person perspective. He does kind of like the journal thing that was really popular, just like, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and Bram Stoker's Dracula did. Popular not when he was writing, but before he was writing. That had fallen out of fashion by the time he was around. But he does the whole journal thing, so to do this as POV is a really, really interesting and I think very effective choice.
Yeah, I think that makes this work in a way and be inherently more interesting than if it were just shot regularly. From a regular, like, fourth wall kind of world. I think it works because it's a very simple thing of just kind of like, you walk into this place and all this stuff happens, and you don't think about how creepy some of this stuff is until you actually see it from the first-person perspective because of the lack of being able to see what's behind you. It adds a creepy element to it, and you're like, oh. And that works. And I don't know, I like that, too. And if you're saying that it works because it's consistent with his books, then that's also a even better reason, honestly, but that's like a whole great bonus.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it does make the horror work a lot better too. There's
especially the ending with the arm tentacle coming out of his chest. That's really cool.
Fucking God, that's
cool.
I sat there with my arms crossed across my chest watching this, like, oh God, no.
Yeah, it felt like the intro to like a Lovecraft survival horror POV or for a first person like survival horror game for like just for like Xbox or something like that, like just a survival.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments saying that people wish this could be like a game.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I'd play the shit out of that.
Like,
no, fuck that. Actually, I wouldn't fucking ever touch that game.
They need to get Creative Assembly. They made Alien Isolation, and I think that game is pretty fucking awesome if you're an Alien fan. So, like, they should get them to make a first-person Lovecraft game. That would be cool.
Yeah. And no, I agree. I think the POV choice works here, too, because, like, it gives you a more limited perspective. It puts you more into the guy's shoes. And what was problematic about Lovecraft's writing in POV that I think pays off by doing this in film is the fact that it was all the person writing it down being aware of what they were writing. Doesn't really make a lot of sense often because, like, the stories will often end with them dying, so they're literally writing until the moment of their death, which is always really kind of silly.
Like, what do they write in the book? Is it just like end, or does it end with like I'm dying?
You ever seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where it's like, and then the Holy Grail? Wait, what the? What does mean? I don't know. That's just what he wrote down. Is
Yeah.
Maybe he died while writing it. Well, he wouldn't write if he were dying. He would just go It's like this whole discussion that they have, and that's pretty much what it is. Not all of his stuff. A lot of the times they survive and then whatever, but quite a few of his stories people are writing up until the moment of their death, and it's really funny when you take that outside perspective on it. But that's why I think doing it in film, it's both a bold choice that could, end up not panning out to do a Lovecraft thing on film. But I also think it works really well here because it gets rid of a problem in Lovecraft's work. That being said, I don't know if I could watch a, feature-length film in first-person perspective like this.
I think I could.
Maybe it's something that only works in a limited run.
I don't know. I think I might be able to. I've seen a movie that's been shot okay, so Birdman's not all in one take, but it gives that illusion. I've seen a movie that is for 90% of it one take, and the last scene of the movie it starts cutting, I think, in secret ways. But it was a horror movie, and I imagine a first person movie would feel very similar to watching that kind of movie where it just doesn't cut.
I don't know. I think there's a disorienting angle to things because, the camera's got to constantly be moving in some way, shape, or form. You can't have a truly steady shot. It also makes it really hard to do, establishments, which are just, fundamental to working or to understanding film at times. Then, I didn't watch Hardcore Henry because it looked like a fun, cool movie, and I would have enjoyed if some segments had been in first-person perspective. But the fact that the whole fucking thing it just seems like it would get exhausting after a while.
I don't know, I kind of imagine it being playing video games.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is I'd rather just play the video game as opposed to sit there and be passive the whole time. Because that's the thing, when you're playing a video game, it's an active experience. You're the one looking around for things, whereas a film is a passive experience. You've got to sit back and just try not to lose your attention. And, I don't know, I feel like that would happen in all first-person perspective because it'd just get distracting after a while.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. This was a fairly immersive experience. The way I wish I could watch this, I just don't have the capability, I guess, is the word for it. You know those, cardboard VR things that you can do?
Yeah.
With your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could have watched this like that. That would have been cool. And by cool, I mean horrible. But in a good way.
They're so weird.
Yeah.
Boxes. So weird.
It is, but it's what they got. It's just like a really elaborate way to hold your phone really close to your face.
So funny.
Now, did you listen to this with headphones or no?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, I told you to.
I know, you did.
The video tells you to.
I know, I just was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going to.
I'll see how you are. Well, I watched this twice, once without headphones on my... What?
I said I'm a rebel.
Yeah. I watched this twice, once without headphones on my television, and I could not see shit at times. And then once on my computer screen, a couple inches away from me, with headphones on. And it's definitely an even more immersive experience with headphones, because there are sounds that you won't hear with speakers.
Yeah, I've played video games when I was super fucking into video games when I was in high school and middle school, but I fucking you'd have to play with headphones if you were gonna play Call of Duty and stuff like that competitively. I used to play on these websites like Game Battles, and there's this website called Game Dunzo where we played these $20 tournaments. Where you'd win $20 if you could beat a team 3 times on 3 different maps, and it was we all had headphones, and I had these really nice fucking gaming headphones, and I still have them. They're really cool. but they're called like Astro A40s, and but like they allow you to hear like everything, and you're like a fucking bat. You're like Batman with like sonar, and it's really cool.
You're like Batman. That's not Batman. That's Daredevil. They should change names.
Well, I know. I mean, yeah, I don't know why I said Batman. I don't like kind of like Batman at the ending of The Dark Knight, where he's like,
gotcha.
and he goes like,
no, and it's really interesting to see that level of sound design go into something.
Yeah, because I imagine it's very similar, being first person and everything. I imagine it's very like dynamic, and you're like, oh my god,
yeah, and like the
behind me.
There's that whole section where he's hearing the voices in the basement or whatever, and you can actually make out like repeated phrases in a fake language. If you have the headphones on, you can hear things. You can hear the guy walking around his house whispering things that you couldn't quite hear if you were listening to it with speakers. You're just able to hear things like when the guy goes to kill him and then gets like a stroke or whatever.
Yeah.
He starts whispering something and you can't hear it with speakers. I don't think. Did you hear what the guy? You were able to probably hear that he was whispering, but were you able to make any of it out?
I don't know. Maybe because I remember something like that where I got like a snippet of like him whispering something, and I was like, "Oh, what did he just say?" But tell me what you're referencing.
Just while he's like, going over to the book and picking up the book, he's just saying things like, "No, I understand now. I get it now." He's talking about like some kind of sacrifice or opening the guy up or something, or saying some words.
I could hear some of what he said.
Yeah, so just stuff like that I thought was, they really do use this whole first-person perspective thing completely to their advantage. This is entirely, like, every decision is purposeful. It's not first-person perspective just because fuck it. It's not shaky cam. We're inside this dude's brain, looking out through his eyes. And I really do like that. So, once again, I appreciate when someone uses their medium to enhance their story.
Yeah.
And that's what happened here, and that's a good thing to do with Lovecraft, who did that with literature. So, I don't know. You take us somewhere then. You don't seem to have much input on that, so I'm like, okay. I guess I'm done.
I guess I'll mention just in the end. I think like the use of the practical effects and the whole set was really cool. That was awesome. All of that, was, like really cool.
Yeah, the set design was fantastic. I love just the fucking shit hanging from the walls. The kitchen looked like just garbage in the best way. Yeah, I agree. I did like quite a bit of that. It looked really kick-ass.
Yeah.
I wonder how they got everything done with the tentacle thing, because Jesus Christ, it all looked so real.
Yeah, that was all really cool. Like, I just admire that use of like quality, practical usage of effects, because like that's the thing. Like, we made movies like that. And that was, like, the best we could do. And I just think that's so cool that at one point in history, like, that was, like, the best that we could do. And now, like, if you can only do that, I just like that equally to, like, big budget effects, honestly. When people do, like, really cool practical effects like that, where you're like, oh, that's a effect, but that's fucking awesome that they made that. That's really cool. Like, it's just a different thing when people had to make it physically.
Yeah.
And it's not to shit on CG or anything. I'm just saying, like, that's a cool aspect of practical effects. There's other aspects of CG where there's really impressive CG in fan films, like that Dragon Ball Z one. You're like, what the fuck? How they make this? This could be on the CW or something like that. Like, this looks better than the CW.
Yeah, it really does. And yeah, I agree. I do like practical effects. Again, it's when they're called for. And this, it's really up close. Generally speaking, practical effects tend to look a little bit better when you're doing up close as opposed to digital effects up close. So yeah, when it's up close, it looks really, really good. Biggest problem with practical effects just generally is movement.
Yeah.
When something, especially if it's like a whole creature, when something has to move, it often looks worse than, like, it might look like it's really there, but it doesn't move like it's really there, and that becomes more distracting, and then CG can have the opposite effect. So to do it, like, just beneath the camera and to keep getting, like, quick glimpses down at it, and not to quite see, like, is it, you know, I'm not sure if it's a fake chest the whole time, or if it's a, like, makeup effect on the actor's actual chest, and then at one point it gets switched out for a fake chest to do the tentacle burster. That's just why you like it. It's a fucking chest burster. That's the only reason. Don't fucking lie to me.
That's not the only reason. I didn't even think about that.
Rasco's just obsessed with Alien. It's ridiculous.
Wait, what? I've never talked about Alien before, ever.
You fucking I dare you to get through one video.
I brought up Alien this episode already.
Yeah, I dare you to get through one video without talking about Alien. Like, I just start mocking you for it every time now, because I just find it hilarious that you can't get off that one film. No, but, like, it's really well integrated either way. If it's makeup and then it's a switch, or if it's a chest, like a fake chest the whole time. And I've seen people build rigs for fake chests. Like, you remember that scene in the 2008 Iron Man movie?
Yeah, where they're, like, pulling stuff out of it, where Gwyneth Paltrow's pulling stuff out of his chest.
Yeah, that's not actually Robert Downey Jr.'s chest. It's like a whole rig.
Yeah, I knew that, actually. But that's crazy, because I don't understand how that works.
Well, it's interesting. I can send you a video where someone made a similar rig and then recomposited redid the scene, but composited just the chest that they made with the hole in it into the original scene with Robert Downey Jr. and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they overlaid their own footage, and like, it's not as good as the, you know, official big budget Hollywood one, but it looks pretty damn legit, so I'm just not sure if it was a fake chest the whole time or not. But yeah, it's fucking cool and scary, and, you know, good luck getting to sleep tonight. Yeah, I agree. I like the effects quite a bit too. Set design. Is there anything to talk about the sets besides just that they look cool?
I like it a lot.
Yeah. I maybe would have liked some kind of, I don't know if translation is the right word, but something that, like, tells me what the shit on the wall is. Like, if he were able to, if when he looked at it, he was able to read the words out loud, but, like, in English or something like that.
Da, da, da.
I don't know. I would have liked that a little bit. A random thought, I guess.
Da, da, da.
Thank you for all the insightful input, Raska. I'm kind of drowning out here, if you can't tell.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. What else can we talk about with this? I want to go for a couple more minutes.
What can we...
What'd you think of the actor, the homeowner?
Oh, he was a creepy weirdo.
Yeah?
He needed to shut up. He was creeping me out.
Well, thanks for the silly voice. Yeah, I don't know about him. He kind of didn't work as well for me. Maybe it was... I'm not sure what to really put my finger on about that. It was an acceptable performance, certainly, but I don't know, maybe he oversold it or something. The whole, like, slapping his head with the bloody knife. I don't know, something about it didn't work for me.
I'm watching through it without sound right now, and when he starts like freaking out, when he's like about to stab him, and then he freezes, and then he gets down, and he's like holding his head. That whole scene he is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I didn't care for that actor. I thought the actor, or voice actor, and body double, I don't know, whatever they did. I thought the narrator character was pretty good, though. Like, just for, scared screams of not understanding what's happening or screams of pain, I thought he did really, really well at, which is always very hard to voice act. Pain or like screaming, really. That those are just hard things to do from a voice acting perspective, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess this is going to be kind of a short episode, and not surprising it was a shorter fan film. Unless you had anything else, Rasco.
Are there any other more of these Lovecraft ones like this?
Not like that. See, I was worried when I picked it that it was going to be some kind of fucking ASMR or whatever the fuck those are things. You know what I'm talking about?
ASMR?
Like, it'll usually just be someone, like, sitting in front of the camera being really fucking creepy for, like, half an hour.
Oh.
I don't know why that's a thing, but it is. And so I was really worried that's what this was going to be, but it's not, so that made me happy. But you can find other fucking weird-ass shit.
I just looked up an ASMR, and I'm going to see what I find.
Okay, this should be a fun little way to pad out the episode for a couple minutes.
ASMR soap carving.
Yeah, type in ASMR Lovecraft.
Okay. ASMR Lovecraft, The Shadow over Innsmouth.
Let me see if I can find it.
ASMR and Beer, Lovecraft Talk. H.P. Lovecraft, The Call of Cthulhu.
Fireside Lovecraft. No. None of this stuff. Oh, there we go. The Innsmouth Barbershop. Click that.
Wait, where is this?
It's on the first page of YouTube. Here, I'll link it to you. There you go. Like, this is just shit where I'm just like, why is this a thing?
Okay. Where is it?
I'll leave this in the description for other people if they'd like to see it, but I just mainly want Raska's reaction to this.
Okay, it is loading for some reason. Okay. Light that candle. Light that candle. Light that candle. Light that candle. Okay. It's lighting candles.
Wait, what? Lighting a candle?
It's candles, and he's lighting the candles in the beginning of the video.
That's not what happens.
Innsmouth Barbershop, A Shadow over...
Yeah, I sent you the right thing. I don't know why you're seeing lighting candles.
You click on it, watch it, then watch the video you linked to me, and you'll see that he lights candles in the beginning of it.
I swear that's not Alright, fuck it. This has nothing to do with anything anymore. I give up.
Go to 3 minutes in, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh, you went to 3 minutes. I'm like at the very beginning of the video.
Go to 3 minutes in. Oh, well I'm not watching it from the start. I'm watching...
Well, just watch it from the very beginning.
But why? It's 35 minutes long.
Because the dude just comes on camera in the very beginning.
Oh, okay.
God damn it, Rasco. I'm gonna edit around this. Right? Really fucking weird looking, isn't it?
Yeah, this is really weird.
Right? And people just fucking watch this shit, and I don't get it.
This is gross. What the fuck? He's nasty as fuck. Ew, his hands are creepy. Get your hands away from the camera, freak.
See, this is what I wanted. There we go. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh.
So, that's what I was afraid this would be. I'm glad it wasn't. I'll leave the link in the description for people to see that, if you so dare.
If you dare.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and go on to ratings then. Rasco, you go first.
We'll go ahead. Oh, my God. Okay. I really don't want to keep coming across and giving everything a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Or everything a 4, I mean. Not a 5. I don't give things... I don't give things 5s very often. I keep giving everything a 4. I keep giving everything a fucking 4, and I'm done giving things 4s for at least this review. So, I'm going to give this fan film, honestly... Gonna give it a... You know what? It actually deserves a 4.5 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Tentacles coming out of your chest.
Yeah. I'll give this, I think 4.5 out of 5 is good, because it uses its medium perfectly. My only real problem with it is the one actor, which is never a huge deal in fan films. I don't think it's perfect, which is why I don't want to give it a 5. I'll give this a 4.5 out of 5. Weird-ass sound design things that make the whole experience even creepier.
Mm-hmm.
So, imagine that. Anyway. Alright, Rascal, what are we talking about next time?
Oh. Did I select one earlier? Do you remember if I had one?
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry, I forgot what it was.
It was that Creep Show thing?
Oh, the Creep Show fan film.
Okay.
It's called... Hold on, let me find it again. It's called Creep Show... It's, Creep Show Short Fan Film 2016. Geo Neo Productions. 24 minutes, 38 seconds long.
Okay. That should be a good one then. Alright everyone, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I'm the Philosopher.
And I am the Walrus.
And we are your Geeky Gentlemen. And we will be discussing things.
Ah!